Hello, in this video we're going to take a look at how to use Python to do some basic web scraping on different websites. So for this tutorial we're going to take a look at eBay, which is like an online selling, it's a website where you can sell stuff and buy stuff online for pretty cheap. And so basically what we're going to do, we're going to write a Python program that's going to look at the code and notify us when something interesting is updated on this site. So let's say we're looking for like PS4s or anything that matter. So basically when I start my web scraper, I just take the search URL, the search bar, and I write what I want. And then I took a look at the URL at the top. Right? So that helps us a lot, and it indicates whether like how the URL changes and how it requests to the database. So before we start, let's just make sure we have the correct dependencies. So basically, we need beautiful soup. So if you go on Google and like you type like pip install, just like how to install beautiful soup. There you go. You just go on your terminal, and then you type sudo pip install beautiful soup 4, and you put the password. So it should install it, but install 2L. There you go. But I already have the dependencies, so we're not gonna use. It's not gonna re-download it again. And we were also going to be using URL lib2. So pip install URL lib2, and there's no need to install it because usually it comes pre-installed with Python. So let's go on somewhere where you want to store your Python files, and let's create. Let's open like a text editor. I'm using Sublime Text, which you can download online. And let's create a new file and save it. Let's see. Save it as web scraper, or like just Python tutorial.py. Well, you can name it anything you want for that matter. And let's just start by importing beautiful soup. Soup 4. No. Let's start by importing URL lib2 from beautiful from BS4. Import beautiful soup. Beautiful soup as, let's say, B. Alright, let's just save it and go to wherever you saved the file. So I saved it in Python, and just write Python and then the name of the program. So Python, and then we called it Python tutorial. And it says cannot import name beautiful soup, so I probably like forgot like an uppercase or something. And yeah, so B uppercase and S is uppercase as well. So let's just write that same thing, and you see it ran without any problem, so that means the code was successful. So now what we want to do is, the first thing we want to do is just get the HTML of this page, right? So if we take a look at what's inside this page, so just view the page source. That's basically the whole code that's running in this web page, right? The whole HTML code. So we have access to it, and we'll need it to actually like retrieve information. So basically we're using URL lib2 for that, and we're saying just looking on Google how to get the HTML with URL lib, and basically it says, alright, easy. So we'll just define our URL and make a variable as a string, and just go here and get this URL. Alright, so I think we're just going to be looking at the first page, maybe, I don't know. If we're only looking at the first page, then we can get the entire URL. But if we want to change pages, then we need to look how this URL is made, right? So if we take a basic look, we have, let's change page and see what happens to the URL, right? Okay, so it's simpler now, and we have the simple version of this URL. I see PS4 here, which means it's the query, the request, and here I see 2, which is the number of page. So if I change 2 for 3, it gets me to page 3, right? Yes, it does. And if I change, let's say, PS4 with Xbox -1, and the dash basically means like a space, I get Xbox One request. Alright, so what I can do, I'm just going to copy the entire URL until this Xbox, which is basically our request, right? So for the URL, I'm going to say this is going to be my URL, and I'm going to stop right here, nkw equals something. And then we can have a request variable, which is basically going to be like, let's say PS4 or Xbox, right? Just an Xbox. And then what we have after that, we have an and. We have this entire thing, and then the page, right? And this just specifies. This is just gonna be like, I don't know what this is, so we'll just call it like anything. Let's call it URL separator, right? This is just gonna be this, and then we're gonna have page number, right? So page number num is going to be equal to 1 by default, right? Because we don't want to start at 3 or anything. And then instead of calling this URL, we'll just call it base URL because it's the base, and we're basing our search. This is like the main thing. Then we're going to have the entire URL, which is equal to base URL plus request plus URL separator plus page number, right? So that's our entire URL. And now what we're going to be doing is getting the HTML of the page. So let's create an HTML variable, call URL lib2 dot kind of forgot what it was, dot URL open, URL, right? And let's just print that to our screen to see if we're able to get the HTML, right? So let's just run it. It says there's a problem. Okay, so basically what we need to do is like say html.read, right, to get the data. So that was the error, and here we go, we get the entire HTML of the web page. But as you can see, it's pretty messy and we can't really work with this. So that's where Beautiful Soup comes in, right? So what we're going to do here is just say, like, put the read here, so we just get like the HTML, and then let's create our soup object equals to be because we have like the B object here, then it's equal to first argument that it takes in is our HTML, and the second is HTML dot parser. So let's print our soup object so that we can just start working with the data that we are retrieving. And it's taking a bit just to connect and get the HTML. There we go. So as we can see, the soup object is working flawlessly, and we get the HTML of eBay. Alright, let's get back to eBay and start looking for like what else we can do, right? So now we're looking for an Xbox on page 1. If we go on eBay, page 1, looking at an Xbox, that's what we get, right? So let's start by analyzing all of these individual posts. So if we inspect by right-clicking and going on inspect, and just basically taking a simple look at the HTML, just scrolling basically, we can see that it's made of a lot of list elements, right? This is an unordered list URL, and this are list index, and they're all called the same thing. They're all called, they all have the same class, and they have this div blah blah, but as we can see, they're all called S items. So what we can do from now is just look at a function called find all. So if we say, for example, for every for every one of these posts, for every post in soup, don't find all. So we're looking at list elements. So find all list elements. And here we're going to specify that they have a class. Then just make like a colon and just specify that the class is s-item, right? S-item. So basically now what we're going to do is just going to print all the posts, yes, and see how it works from here. Let's just clear what we got and try this. So it should basically output the HTML of all of these different posts with all what's contained inside. So what we should see is all of this right there. And let's go back, and alright, it seems like it's been outputting what we are looking for. So as you can see, it outputs the list element and everything that's inside, including like the price right here and everything, right? So basically what we want to retrieve from this is the title, because we're interested to know what's this all about. We're also interested in the price, and finally the URL to get to this page, right? So that's what I want to print in my console. So if we dig a bit deeper and we go down there, we can see there's a class called s-item whatever, oddness, and here I have class s-item link, right? So we have a bunch of different div elements. Here I have item subtitle, and what else do we have? We have the review. Well, if we just want the title, then it's in this section, right? So we have the link, and the title is the h3. So what we're gonna do is look at this S item link, right? So we're just gonna say, okay, so we want the link. So the link is gonna be equal to the post, because we already have the HTML, dot find all again. And now what we're looking at is an A tag, so it's a link. So A, and then a class called sitem __ link. So then we have a class that's called s-item __ link, and we want the first element, so element 0, because there's only one. So we're just gonna specify that we want the first element, because this returns an array or a list. We're just looking for first element, and then we're just gonna retrieve the text. So, and we're gonna print the link, right? Let's go here. Let's clear everything. And let's try it out and see if we get links as we are expecting. Cool, so we're not getting links, but at least we're getting titles. So here we have Xbox One X 1TB console. Oh, okay, I get it now. So basically, if we basically specified this, and we asked for text, which is this H3 right underneath, and that's the title. So if we want the href, I believe we'll need to so that's just going to be some, like, let's call it H, this thing, and let's call link like equal to H dot text. So that's going to be the link. No, that's going to be the title. My bad. Sorry. And if we want the link is going to be equal of H, and we just want the href, right? I think it's in brackets, otherwise it's going to be in parentheses. So might as well just test them both. And we want to print the link, and we want to print the title. Clear and run. So it's fetching the information, it's getting the information and all. Here we go. It worked perfectly. So we have the title, and we have the link, which we can actually click, and it's going to open the link. So this is the link of the first element, and if we go and we just basically like click on the second one, we get this, which is the second link right underneath. It's not in order, but it should be. Anyway, if we have like if we take a look at the original HD 2 terabytes, right, we get this, and it's basically like somewhere down there. Somewhere. Should be there. Anyway, it's basically working here. You can have the links and everything. So something else that we might be interested in is getting the price, right? So if we just go back here, for the price, what we need to look for is, it's not subtitles, it's here in detail, s-item detail clear fix, this one, because the text is underneath. And we're looking at this s-item detail primary, and here we have the price, right? So for that, what we're gonna do is, since we're already we have like our post object, we can use that, the post object, and we're going to use it to get the price, right? So basically the price is going to be equal to post, right, dot find all, and this time it's going to be what is it going to be? Just simply going to be this thing here, right? We're just going to be looking at s-item detail, this one, right? Or just simply this one that's right next to the class, the price. So it's going to be s-item __ price. Pretty simple. So if I just take a look, it's a span object, right? So it's going to be span. Here we're going to define that it's a class and that it's this, and we're basically going to specify that it's element 0 as before, and just get the text from that. So we get the title, we should also get the price, print the price, and then we get the URL or the link of what we're looking for. So let's clear again and try it. Okay, so it seems to be working. So here it says this one. So just to make it clear, let's print like a black a space, I guess, right underneath, or like plus, I believe it's \n, if I'm not mistaken, and just have some space to differentiate between each of those. Alright, so I'm just going to scroll up, and this one, it says 529.99, and if we verify, that's correct, 529.99. So if we take a look at another one, let's say this one, 234.99, it says 234.99. So it should be working pretty fine. Now I know that in eBay we have we can specify the price like a minimum and a maximum. So if we say minimum 100 and maximum 200, right? What it does here is that it adds these two tags right here. ULDLO, so, and UDHI, and it specifies that it's like the minimum is 100 and the maximum is 200. So if we want to basically add this like range or restriction, we can basically after the page number, I guess, we could try. No, it's not gonna work. So if we basically just take a look a bit deeper and go to page 2, so we have Xbox One SA capped, which I have no idea what it is, but I know that right after the request we should have the restriction. So we have the request, so maybe we can add like range, we call it range equals, that already exists. So min max equals to this, and here what we can have is a minimum variable. So minimum, let's say, equals 100, or let's say 150, and maximum is equal to, okay, no, these already exist, right? So minimum, let's write it completely. Maximum, let's say maximum is 250, right? So what we can do here is separate this string. So we'll add quotation marks here, plus, and then we want the string of minimum, and then plus this. No, not what I'm looking for. This, and then plus string of maximum. So since maximum and minimum are integers, we just want to convert them to strings. Maximum, here we go. And here, between the request and the URL, all we're going to do is add a min-max, our min-max variable. And we're simply going to clear, just to get rid of all of this, and run it again. And we should only get prices between $150 and $250 if this works properly, which it does. So if you take a look, our prices are like, they're all within the range of $150 to $250. Nothing exceeds, nothing like is under. But the only problem as of now is that we're only getting the first page result, right? And as you can see right down there, there is a lot of pages. Here I believe there's 4 pages, right? But in other requests there might be more pages. So what we can do to go through all the pages for now, let's just make a for loop for I in range, let's say we want 10 first pages. And then what we're going to do is just, for the page, just reset the URL to be for the page number, and just say that page number, or just create an integer, which is the, let's say, num equals 1 by default. And all we're going to do is say num plus equals 1, and page num is equal to the string of num. Since page num is a string, we need an integer to do the math, right, to add 1 to it. And then we just say page number is equal to the string of num, which changes the page number here, and then each time it loops back, it's going to change the page number, right? And just going to print at the end, like, we are at page plus page number, right? So if we run this now, something clearly didn't work as expected. Okay, because we're not getting the HTML, right? So we still need to update the HTML and our soup object that we're using here. So now that we copied that, it should be working properly. Okay, so it's taking time, which is a good sign. Here we have page 1, right? Then we have page 2. Page 3, as you can see. And now we're getting all these different offers and everything, which is awesome. Now we have a big list, and if something interests you, you can maybe like make it send you an email. Alright, so let's just stop it for now. Alright, so this is pretty much how you make an eBay web scraper. This works for any website. You just need to take a look and look at how the HTML works, and then you can basically retrieve everything you want. You can make all sort of fun things. So I hope you benefited from this video, and we'll see you in the next one.